My father and my mother were on the Schindler's List. After the war, my father, he opened up a handbag repair shop in Beverly Hills. One day, Thomas Keneally just happened to walk into our handbag store in October 1980. He was looking for a repair on a briefcase, and my father asked him where he was from and what he did for a living. And Mr. Keneally said that he was an author. And my father said, I have the greatest story. And he took Mr. Keneally to the back office and showed him many documents about Oskar Schindler and many testimonies from the Schindler Jews. And my father said, Mr. Keneally, this is a story for you. And the rest is history.
My mother's name, it was Rosa Laufer. She was number 139 on the list. And it's a story I'm still trying to piece together. She put all differences aside, just like Schindler did, and just said the most important thing is to, be there for a person that's suffering. And I think that's that's my focus right now.
I guess you're grateful for the humanity of somebody like Oskar Schindler for saving my parents and for saving me, so to speak. It's a legacy, I guess, that I can continue, and I've passed it on to my daughter and my son. And you know what? We showed them we've got family, we've got grandkids, and, we survived.
Part of the memories I have of my grandmother are of her talking about so much that was lost and what little she actually physically, tangibly had. So I have this necklace that she made just from like a sewing kit. She crocheted some, I don't know, it's like a thicker thread with just a button. This is just a button. And I think she made this for me when I was 8, 9. It means a lot to me.
In the middle of the war, my dad, Abraham Zuckerman, he was transferred to Oskar Schindler's factory, and May 5th, 1945, he was liberated by the American Army. My dad was in New Jersey. He teams up with his childhood friend from Krakow, Murray Pantera. Murray Pantera had a relative named Isaac Levenstein, and the three of them, in a short order, formed a building company and named it LPZ after the initials of the last names. The company through the 50s and 60s and 70s did very well. They built many subdivisions of homes, and with that success was the appreciation for one individual that helped all of them, and that was Oskar Schindler. So they made it their mantra to name one street in every subdivision Schindler Way, Schindler Street, Schindler Drive, something like that. And that's, I'll say, the legacy of Oskar that my dad wanted to leave. No museum, but it's embedded in the ground.
Our great-grandfather, Isaac Levenstein, was able to get himself and also his nephew on Schindler's List, and that's how they survived the war together. We have 20 great-grandchildren, and 3 of them actually have their great-grandfather's Hebrew name. The choice to live and continue on and create a family is the legacy of our great-grandfather.
All 3 of us were in the IDF, and it's definitely something that we think of being descendant of a Holocaust survivor and being able to have the privilege of living in Israel.
So he actually passed away before we were all born. So everything we know, we've heard from our grandmother, his daughter. She describes his personality as larger than life, a family man who took risks to ensure that his family will continue and live.
And just so you know, we had him with us right in front of us the whole interview. We were looking at that.
So Isaac was my grandfather's uncle. My grandfather, Murray Pantera, he was number 205 on Schindler's List. He created a beautiful legacy. My grandfather was very, very vocal. He came to our school to speak, and he'd always be getting awards at different dinners and his synagogue, and he was always somebody who would say, yes, I'll be the one to tell my story because that's what I have to do. That's my responsibility in life. And that's why every member of my family is so committed to never forget. All of his grandchildren, and God willing, one day all of his great-grandchildren will be doing the same. We all, tell the story to whoever wants to listen. We all have so much respect for him, and I just wish he was here to see everything that we're all doing, just continuing the beautiful legacy that he left for us.
I don't think a day went by that my father nor his partners, every day was indebted to Oskar Schindler, that his legacy should live on, because the three of them wouldn't be here without him.
I want to tell you about my parents' messages. My father said, in the darkest moments of your life, you must think positively that you'll overcome. You must have hope that you will survive. The strength is in yourself. My mother's message, never be prejudiced against any group of people. Always believe in the goodness of human nature.
Ultimately, what it's enabled me to do, being her offspring, is develop this passion to kind of find what can bring us together rather than that which moves us apart.
My grandmother said, we have choices, even though they might not feel easy. If you feel like people's rights are being violated, if you feel like people are being put at risk, to speak up and to do things about it.
My grandson just had his bar mitzvah, a month ago, and all I could think is I wish my parents were there to see it.
Come, Moshe. Are you going to be part of it? Okay, come in. This is my son, Moshe. He is our Zadie Isaac's first great-great-grandson.
So this is actually a photo of my grandparents' 25th wedding anniversary party. Here we have Oskar Schindler being held up on a chair by my grandfather, who's right here. It's an incredible reminder of just a little bit of good in the world goes such a long way.
This is what my father wanted, to build a life, to build homes, to build a place for people to have an existence, and a Jewish existence, an American existence, a diversified existence, but existence together.